Marco, great to see you.
See you.
You look excited, you look happy. You raring to go Friday?
Of course, we get used for it. It's always good when we arrive at this stage and we are preparing ourselves to the start of Premier League. That is the reason why we all, and not just ourselves, I think all the managers and the players as well, because at the end it's for these games and the start of Premier League and to compete in Premier League that we have been preparing ourselves the last four weeks and a half.
2 solid seasons back in the Premier League. What's the feeling now going into this one as regards ambitions, expectations for the season ahead? Have you set targets for your players?
100% sure. We already spoke and we are going to set, and we have, of course, we don't need to mention to you, even if you like. But it's going to, as you said, 2 very good seasons from us, the last 2 ones, different ones, but my opinion, last season we gave very good steps forward. I know people look for the results or the position on the table. We look much more deeper than we gave. It's going to be another one, and we have to rebuild a lot of things. It's not. We are confident. We know what we've been doing, but we have to look for all the picture. And probably, I can take this risk to say I don't know all, but probably we are the only team that is going to compete in Premier League that lost 3-4 senior and starting 11 players. Probably don't find another team that lost four starting 11 players, and we have to rebuild. We have to go. We are confident. We have a lot of work to do in the next 2 weeks and a half until the end of the market, because we need it. But we are confident. It's been a very good pro-season for us. The environment around the squad is top level. Players more mature, okay, more used for this situation as well. We brought with us to Portugal and doing this pre-season with us some young players that they bring always something fresh as well, and it's been a very good pre-season with the players working really hard. Some good games, tough games that we play during pre-season, some good performance helps always to get the confidence that the players they needed, and we are in a good shape, even if you know that for example the squad is far to be complete right now, all that stuff. As I said, the players that we lost, when you look for Tosin, for Tim Ream, for João, for William, for Bobby, and most of them you have seen them the last 2 seasons as starting 11 players for us and crucial players for us. And now we have to rebuild again, for example, like we did last season when we lost Alexander Mitrovic, and we rebuild with the players that we had in our squad.
Does that make your job tougher going into the first game, knowing that we've got 2 weeks left of the transfer window and you're not there yet with your squad?
Myself, like all the managers at this stage of the season, I would like to have all the squad with me, to have the pre-season, the friendly matches to prepare them, to don't prepare them during the competition. It's always the same story. Of course, if you have just one to do it, it's going to be much better. We have much more than one to do it. But it's what it is. We have been working hard. The players, the games have been good for us as well. Of course, we are not 100% like Man United is not going to be. For example, Man United signed yesterday, I think, 2 players. Probably they are going to sign more players until the end of the market, and with us is going to happen the same. But we are going to be ready for the game.
João Paulinho, obviously you mentioned a big loss, great move for him, go to Bayern Munich, but do you feel you're equipped in that position in the park to cope with the loss of João to Bayern, or is that an area you think you need someone else in to replace him?
Is there an area that we are going to sign a player? Definitely, of course, we are pleased that we have Sacha Lukic with us, Harrison Reed with us as well. They can play in that position, they can play a little bit higher on the pitch as well, but yes, we are going to sign a player for that position.
And centre-back, there's been plenty of talk about centre-back. I mean, you mentioned yourself, you lost a couple of centre-backs, you bought one in Jorge, need depth. The players that obviously we're hearing, Joachim Andersen, Diego Carlos, players with Premier League experience, is that a preference for you?
No, I'm not going to talk about the players that they are not in our squad, definitely. And I'm not going to talk about all the positions on the pitch, but it's clear when you lost 2 central defenders, we signed George Cuenca, and we are really pleased to have him with us. I think it's going to be a big surprise for everyone that doesn't know him. It was a great opportunity in the market that we I think we did it really well. Convince him to come and to be in our team. We are really pleased to have him. Can play as a left back as well. It's always important for us to have this type of players that can play in more than one position. But yes, the central defense is another position that we are going to cover. If he's Premier League experience or not, let's see. The market is going to dictate sometimes within our possibilities as well. Of course, we talk about some names. Let's see if they are going to be around Premier League or from abroad. But for sure, we have to sign a player for that position.
Talking about one that has come in, Emil Smith-Rowe, and the impact he's made so far, 2 goals in his first 2 games. How impressed have you been since his arrival, and what are your expectations for him this season?
I'll be more impressed in the future for sure about him. Of course, and the best thing can happen for a player like him is to have an impact straight away, and he has had. This is the main thing. Very good second half against Seville, where he scored another good chance, but the impact that he made in the game, and the last game slightly different when he started the game, play almost 75-80 minutes. I think in that stage of the season was probably too many minutes for him, because as you know, you didn't know, but he just played one friendly at Arsenal behind closed doors, the first friendly, and from that moment until join ourselves, he didn't play football matches. Even the last 8 days before signing with us, he didn't train with the team. Okay, and it's going to be a process for him to be in his best level, physical point of view. But he made already an impact. You can see in the training sessions the quality that he has, and he's going to add something extra for us that we last season sometimes we missed, a little bit more creative in certain areas of the pitch. That the position around the striker, the player that can give us some things. Okay. He didn't play yet in that position with us, but can come from the left too, and he's going to give that creativity that in some moments we look when we play against teams that they are more compact and all that stuff. I think he can make a difference, and a player that scored 2 goals into 2 games with us is always a very good start. Some good chances as well, and he needs time to adapt for us the way we want to play. But clearly, as I said to you, I'm sure that I'm going to be more impressed in the future about him.
Definitely ask you about him in the future then. Final question from me, Lewis. Manchester United away first game, you had great memories back in February. Had some interesting games up there recently as well. Does that make a difference for you going into this one?
No, it's okay. Of course, the players they have been speaking about it for sure between them, because the reality since the last 2 seasons, every time we play against Man United or Man United against us, the games they have been decided always for margins. Okay, sometimes for them last minute goals. I think they scored 2 or 3 times against us, and 2 or 3 times against us late goals that make them to win games. Okay, we all know the story about the FA Cup quarters final too last season. Last game was for us to decide in the last minute of the match or close the end of the match. The reality that we have been giving always a match for them, and this is the reality, is the way we play normally, is the way we prepare ourselves. Okay, excited to be at Old Trafford. It's always good to start there. The environment is going to be very good for sure, and the way they are going to start, they want to start on the front foot, we know as well, but they know that they are going to play against us, and they know what we are capable to do every time we play against them. Let's hope we can repeat at least the same type of performance that we have been playing with them the last 2 seasons. I'm going to be really pleased as a manager if I see my team to play in that way. And of course, after, as I said, the margins can decide what is going to happen in terms of results.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Hi. How are you, first of all?
I'm good, thank you. Good to see you.
My math is not perfect, but I think you're entering your 7th season in English football. And I was wondering, from a manager perspective, in the Premier League environment, is it becoming more challenging, more demanding, and perhaps more satisfying?
More satisfied, 100% sure. More demanding, and I don't have doubts as well. Anytime we are at this level, and as you said, it's already the 7th since 2017 already. The reality that every single year is more challenging. I think every single year all the clubs they try to improve, and you are in. I'm repeating, but it's become a cliche, but it's the truth. Is what I feel. In the best competition in the world, but at the same time, the most difficult one when you have the best players, the best teams, and the best coach around.
Emil Smith-Rowe, I was wondering, when you spoke to him before you joined and when you joined, what did you sense from him in terms of his desire to play and also to lead?
one of the things that gave me more, to make me to be more pleased and gave him more, push me more even to fight to have him with us. Okay, first is about his decision to leave Arsenal. You know how long he's been there. Okay, I think from 9 years old, I think 10 years old. It's not an easy decision to take. A player that is almost as a life in one football club. But since he took a decision or start to think about it, our conversations, we have been clear with him what we are going to expect for him, how, talk about our project, and the main thing for me was to feel the desire from Emil to come for our football club. That made me to really to push our board and to convince our board that he is going to be the right guy to have in our football club, because I knew that he's going to make our fans to love him. He's going to make, it's like a statement for us to go for. I know that last season for him was tough in terms of minutes played, but a top talent that we want to make him to play at his best level again. And you know that if he's playing his best level, he's going to be a great player for us. And his desire to come for our football club and the passion that he showed to wait for us and to wait for the between clubs, everything was agreed, was top draw for in my opinion. And when I see a player this talent with that type of desire to come for our football club, make me to fight even more to have them with us.
Man United, they had lots of changes on the pitch and off the pitch as well in the last summer. I'm sure you watched them against Man City. Do you expect a tougher test?
It's always Man United is Man United. Start of the season probably even more. You don't have here they played the official game already. You haven't played. Okay, you have always, even if you played last Saturday like they played, it's completely different if you play a friendly game or if you play official game. They have always that first feeling to play an official game. Okay, it's not going to be excuse for sure for us, but it's always slightly different. But the only difference here is that you don't have that middle of the season already, the moment of the teams. If one team is more confident than the other, you don't have here. Okay, we go to play our first game. We are confident that because our preseason is being good for us. Okay, they end last season winning a trophy, and it's always really important for a Man United football club to be able to win trophies, and they won it. Last Saturday they lost in the penalty shootout against the champion, and of course they want to start the season with the right foot, if I can say in this way, and we want to start in the same way. We want to be to start really well from ourselves in a tough place to go, but in a very good environment for sure to play football and to enjoy a football match.
Thanks, Ned. Ruben, you have a question?
Hi, Ruben.
Obviously United's a big game for the first game of the year. Can you go there without any pressure, particularly with the win in February?
No, I think what's happened is already past, and of course we were pleased with the way you played because we got the 3 points, and I think we deserve clear the 3 points too in that game, but it's already past. It's going to be the same teams there on the pitch, the same stadium, but the story is going to be different. Let's hope we can repeat something similar, but the story of the game is going to be completely different.
Can I ask you about Willian as well, because that was obviously a bit of a loss for you as well. How keen were you to keep him this summer?
Okay, you cannot ask me. You can ask, but I don't know what I can say about William. William took a decision, and we cannot say nothing more about it.
Obviously, Fernandes as well at Manchester United, Portugal international like yourself. How important is he to their club this year?
Bruno Fernandes, he's a top player. All I can say more about him is, I think he's one of he's a crucial player for them. He's their captain. He's one of the players with more assists in this country, this championship, the last 3-4 seasons. Every time he's on the pitch, he can make an impact, can score goals, can make assists. He's a player with a tactical knowledge about the game at really high level. You can feel it every single moment of the game. How Bruno can decide well, how Bruno can be decisive on the ball and off the ball. And he's going to be a player. Of course, we look for Man United as a team, not just for 1 or 2 players, but 100% sure Bruno will have to be aware of his qualities, because he can decide a match in any moment of the game. Thank you very much.
Hi, Marco.
Hi.
10 of the 11 players that played at Man United last season are still at the club, with Tosin obviously being the only player that's departed.
Yeah.
Can you use that performance as a blueprint? Because you probably were the better team against Man United, you deserve the win. So do you think you can use that performance as a blueprint to go to United again?
No, that performance, of course, still in our mind. If you want to remind the players for some things that we did so well in that game, of course it's there, and it's going to be easy for us to do it. Of course, I said that is going to be another story because it's not because both teams are really different. As you said, of course, most of the players that we lost and key players that we lost, for different reasons, they were not in that game. I remember João, for example, he was suspended in that game. William was injured as well, and Bobby Reed didn't start the game. Tim Reed didn't start the game. Just Tosin, as you said, started the game. It's a coincidence, but it's the reality about Man United game away from home. They are not really different too, but with now the new signings that they are really different too. I think in 1 month time, probably both teams they are going to be different than that game, but it's what it is. Some things you can work on that way to see what we did well, what problems they created for us as well. We had the pre-season games to analyze too about Man United, and you go in a direction to play to win the game.
Just finally, Jay Stadstill came out with you to Portugal and Germany. He might not got as many minutes as he may have wanted. There's obviously interest from other clubs, but is he still part of your plans this season?
I said end of last season when you asked me here 1 or 2 times about Jay. Everything what we did plan for Jay the last 2 seasons, and this is going to be the 3rd, happened. The first season in League One, just the first 6 months. Last season in the Championship, he was one of the best. Was probably one of the best players at Birmingham. Scored the goals that we expected him to score, was so important. A lot of approach for him for the Championship clubs, but from last season, I have decided that he's going to be part of our squad. I know that, for example, in Portugal he didn't play because he had a small issue in one training session, and we have to protect him a little bit. Last Saturday you played 2 games against Hoffenheim, one in the morning and one in the afternoon. He played in the morning. I can say to you that he scored as well, and he's going to be a player from Fulham Football Club. Nothing more to say. We can keep receiving approaches. Our idea is to keep him, and we are going to keep him in our squad.
Thank you.
We're going to move over to radio now, so we'll go to Emma first and then to Ian.
Hello, Marco. This time last year, you weren't happy, I don't think. You weren't happy that you had the players in pre-season that you wanted before the start of the season. I think I got the impression that maybe you felt that the club hadn't been busy in the transfer market as much as they would have done, especially, I think, knowing that you were probably going to lose Mitrovic. Are you happier now at the start of this season?
Oh, I don't go in this direction. I don't go in this direction because it doesn't make... in my opinion, it's not important to say if I'm happier or if I'm not so happy. I think it's not. Last season was last season. We are able to take decisions. Late, but we took important decisions. That is the reality. When you sign last day of the market a player like Alex Iwobi that made a huge impact on our season. Come late, but sometimes it's better to come late, but come the good player that doesn't come the good player and come early as well. If you ask me, but is Marco Silva, he can be any other manager in the world, I would prefer to have the players with me in the pre-season. You do a pre-season for that, to prepare the players to have, but Premier League is tough, not just on the pitch, it's tough off the pitch as well. The way we have to go to sign good players, and sometimes we have to be patient, and that's it. It's not as important if I'm happier or not than last season. What is the most important thing, that we know clear what we want and what we need. The board know as well. The board, they are pushing, they are working hard, and let's hope they can do and they can sign the players that we need, and we are here to work all together to achieve it. Right now, I'm looking for the players that we have for the Friday's match.
Emile Smith-Rowe has been a club record signing for Fulham. Is that the way do you think the club will be going, in terms of you'll be having to spend that much money and more to get the players that you need?
I think it's a natural a way that we have to go, because before we arrived, the club was not able to sell players for more than 15-20 million. Sorry to tell you, but it was true. And last season we sold 150 million, and this season more than 50 million euros. I think it's a normal way. If you want to grow as a football club, and if you want to be able to perform at a certain level that make you to big clubs. Mitrovic was different, it's different market, but the clubs like Bayern Munich, or even last season the offers that we have for some of our players, and be able to come to to buy players from ourselves, you have to be able after to go and to spend money, because this Premier League is really a demanding one, and if you want to keep growing like we have been doing, you have to be able to spend. And I understand your question. Okay, we did break the record in terms of signings, but last season we broke with Mitrovic. Last summer we were able to broke again, and okay, it's part of a club that wants to grow and is having good performance on the pitch.
There was another approach, I believe, for you to possibly go to Saudi Arabia in the summer.
No, it's not. I'm here. I'm really pleased to be here. I want to keep winning football match, keep winning, to keep making the club to grow, and my career is really important for me.
Because you've said that before, that this is where you want to be. The Premier League is the best league.
Your colleague said that. It's already 7 years. It's not just 1 or 2.
And finally for me, sorry, Tim Ream obviously has left the club. Is there going to be an opportunity, I don't know if you know the answer to this, is there going to be an opportunity for him to come back and say goodbye to the fans? Or?
I don't know. I have to tell you that was when I prepared and we prepared last March, April, I can open to, was something that we didn't expect to. Okay, we knew what is going to happen. Probably we are going to lose or not Tosin, that was in last year contract, and we are looking for a right central defender to come for our football club. Was something unexpected, if I can say in this way. Even in football, we have to be ready for everything. Great servant for our football club team. When you arrive in the football club, probably he was not in his best level. I think he was a big part in the last 3 successful seasons for the football club. For me, it was so important for me on and off the pitch. I had many ideas for him in our football club. He wanted to keep playing football at the best level. He has a goal, a dream, if I can say, to play the World Cup in 26 in his country, and okay, it was a decision that he made. We understood his decision. It was not easy to let him to go, I have to tell you, because he's really important for me, but we were having a certain moment of the pre-season that we have to find a solution, and I think myself, staff, club, we found a very good solution in Jorge Cuenca that is going to give us probably different things, but it's going to be a great solution for us. And of course, I wish team all the best. It's going to be a connection for the rest of our lives, because he's a top. Apart from the football, he's a top person, and I like to work with this type of people around myself. If he'll come back or not, to say goodbye personal for all of us or the fans, we don't know. When he left the club, we were in Portugal. I already spoke with him, as you expect, on the phone. Let's see if he's be able to come here or not.
Thank you, Marco.
Thank you.
Last part broadcast with Ian, and then we're going to move over to the list of press.
Oh, yeah.
Right, good.
If I can start by what you said during the press conference, whereby to move forward as a big club, you've got to be able to spend big and rebuild squads as you have in the last couple of years. Can you just elaborate a bit more on that in terms of Fulham moving forward under you? Are they going to have to become a bigger spending, more sort of forward-thinking club in terms of the amount of players they go for?
We don't need to be a bigger spending. When I said that, because okay, sometimes if you lose for example, a player like, or a top striker, or a top midfielder, or a top central defender, we think always to don't lose quality in your squad. When I'm saying that, we have to keep at least to keep the quality. Okay, the aim is always to try to improve the quality inside your squad, but at least to don't lose quality. Of course, if you lose a player or top quality players, we should go for top quality players, and this type of players, and they cost money, and you have to spend. Is the simple way to see that situation. And of course, probably some years ago we were not able to go and to pay this amount of money for an Arsenal player like we did. And for me, it's not really the most important thing. Sometimes you can spend 10 million, that player can be crucial for us. William is a good example, come for free and was so crucial for us, is what it is. And even Tosin, the club paid 2 million or 3 million for him, and he was really important for us. Sometimes the money the money you pay doesn't mean that, okay, he's going to be a top one, but normally the best players, they cost us more money. It's like that. Is a normal. I think is a normal business in football. But if the club is receiving approaches, is selling players for more money, gives the club, I think, in a normal, looking easy for the business, gives more power for the club to go. It has to be like that, because you cannot keep losing players and key players for us, and after don't replace them or don't go to add different qualities for the team cheap, because in football and in Premier League, as I said, if you want to go for championship, to buy one of the best players in championship, you have to spend really very good amount of money. Imagine if you want to buy a player from another Premier League club.
Every time you're asked a question in terms of what you can do at Fulham, you've come up with the answers. Could you get them out of the Championship? Yes, with record points. Could you keep them in the Premier League? Yes, you did, for 2 more seasons. If I said to you now, can you get Fulham into the top 10? What would be your response? Because you said you've got ambitions and targets. You didn't want to expand on that, so I'm going to try and get you to expand on that.
It's easy. My answer to you, we already did it. 2 seasons ago, we finished in the 10th position. That is the truth. And last season, we finished 2 points from the 10th position as well. I think, of course, and it was our fault, but without a bit more consistent in some games, in the last 10 games of the season, was something achievable for us. I would prefer really to see how it is going in the next 2-3 weeks, and after to be more clear with you. But clear, the ambition is to do better than last season, and I think I'm answered to you what you want to listen.
So you do want to be actually inside the top 10, 9th or 8th?
That's it.
Young strikers, Muniz scored a lot of goals last season. We're going to keep Jay Stansfield. Is that the way forward for your attack, to be young and vibrant and energetic?
Yeah, we have 3 strikers. They are all different. Rodrigo made a huge impact in the second part of last season. We really believe that he can do better this season, and we have to push him, to keep pushing him. I think with a player like Raul around him every time and ready to play from the first game of the season, with more confidence than last season when he started, is always a very good battle. And you have a young lad there that is hungry to have a chance. Different profile. Jay is a profile that can play around the striker, can play as a second striker, can come from the wide areas. But okay, it's really good to see 2 really young players like Jay, as you said, and Rodrigo, because Rodrigo is still a really young striker, and one more experience like Raul Jimenez that knows Premier League, knows everything in Premier League and about that role. And yes, we are pleased with the 3 solutions that we have.
The reason I ask is because although you lost people like Tim Ream and William and Bobby Nichols over Reed, you've still got a lot of very experienced players. Tom Cairney's been around for a long time, Harrison Reed, goalkeeper, Bernd Leno, as you say, Raul Jimenez. I mean, it's not the youngest squad in the Premier League. No,
it's not, because last season the average starting 11 from ourselves probably was one of the oldest as well. Of course, when you see that play like Timorin, play like Willian as well, even João, 28 years old, is 28 years old, and Bobby Reed, 30 years old as well. Of course, we lost some maturity, some experience, Premier League experience, the quality, of course. I don't need to repeat it again, but you still have quality, and you still have the experience as well, as you said, Alex Jovi, Andrés Pereira, Raul Jimenez, as you said. Okay, Adama probably is not the most vocal guy, but has enough experience at this level as well, as you said. Tom Cairney and Harrison Reed. The 2 together, they have almost 16 years in our football club too. Is a moment for the others to step in. We have a Calvin Bassi player that has to start to step in terms of his role as a central defender, that to start to take certain type of responsibility in the role, that in the position that he played, that is important for me, and he knows that. And of course, you mentioned Bernd Leno, that is, apart to be a top goalkeeper, is so important for us in all the moments of the season.
And last one, all right, we had the Euros to watch, but in general, it's been quite a long summer without proper football. How much are you actually looking forward to being the first team up on the opening day of the season, the opening evening of the season against Manchester United? How much deep down are you excited, a kid again?
No, it's going to be great. I think it's always really good when it starts. I agree with you. It was a long summer, a long break, and okay, at least we had the Euros to enjoy a little bit football, and the Copa America too. But it was a long one, and when we arrived here for the first session, we all are excited to start again, because it was a long one. And it's going to be, I think, if you ask me, I'm a lot of respect and huge respect for Man United. I think it's a very good start. To be able to go to play against Man United away from home on a Friday night is a very good start of the Premier League. I really believe that you are going to be at a level that one game like that demands from ourselves, and we should enjoy the game, and I hope we can make our fans to enjoy again like they enjoyed last season.
Brilliant stuff. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Right, so we switch off cameras, that's the broadcast section. We only have